Here are the signs and symptoms of Musk Derangement Syndrome. We all know somebody who suffers from Trump Derangement Syndrome. And I'm not just talking about, any Democrat. I'm talking about the people that are full-blown, just absolutely despise Donald Trump, despise anybody that supports him, that they actually turn extraordinarily emotional about it and sometimes even get violent. I'm talking about the full-blown sufferers, not just the people that are lost. Because here's the thing. We have seen, even though there's a rise in Trump Derangement Syndrome, and there has been ongoing for the last decade, it's clear that a lot of people are starting to wake up. A lot of Democrats, rhinos, independents, whatever, people that formerly opposed President Trump are now starting to realize that, hey, number one, maybe he's not that bad. Number two, maybe we've been lied to by legacy media for a long time. And number three, he really does love America. I think that's the part that really is endearing him towards more and more people. They're realizing that he's not just out there, trying to be a big shot, that he's willing to sacrifice, to put himself at risk, even at risk of his own life, in order to save America. So yeah, he's starting to get more and more fans, but there are those that will never be reached. There are those that he could cure cancer and save puppies and give everybody $1 million out of his own pocket, if he had that much, and they would still hate him. They would still just despise him. Well, he's not alone now, apparently. Elon Musk is starting to become public enemy number 2, and this has been happening for apparently a long time. According to an article over at libertynation.com, Lisa K. Donner is the author. She says, if you believe Trump Derangement Syndrome is a unique one-off illness, you are mistaken. The left has someone else new to despise, Elon Musk. The brilliant and unusual billionaire some might describe as alien smart is being mercilessly derided for his role in the Trump administration. Millions appear to be suffering from MDS, Musk Derangement Syndrome, but the strange thing about all this poisonous fury being directed at the president's right-hand man is that he used to be someone the left admired, confirming once and for all that there is a fine line between love and hate. Once revered as the nerd they loved, the South African entrepreneur now appears to be someone leftists love to hate. In an article for The Hill, former White House and Pentagon official Douglas McKinnon tracked Musk's fall from the progressive grace, which occurred when he purchased Twitter. Almost overnight, according to the article, Musk became public enemy number 2. He will obviously never reach the number 1 position, since the left has carved President Donald Trump's name in granite for that title, McKinnon astutely observed. Now, see, here's the funny part. This is the second time in the last 2 or 3 days that an article has come up and mentioned former President Donald Trump. You know what that tells me? That tells me that this was at least partially, not this article, because she's quoting an article, or Donner's quoting an article here, but apparently Douglas McKinnon used artificial intelligence to write that, because a lot of AIs they still say former President Donald Trump. And for anybody, I don't think there's any actual journalist or writer in the United States of America today who is unaware that Donald Trump is the current president of the United States. So that's funny that McKinnon would put that in there. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So again, to be clear, that's the Hill author, not the author from Liberty Nation, who was just quoting from the Hill. Let's jump to the these are the symptoms. Okay, and you can always find this article over at libertynation.com, but I want to go straight to the symptoms and address them individually. These are symptoms. It says it's easy to identify Musk Derangement Syndrome as an irrational sickness just by evaluating the vitriol. They who suffer from MDS will say things, for example, that he's unelected and therefore should wield no power. Well, here's the thing to those people. In many ways, he definitely was elected. The most obvious and straightforward way is because as a member of President Trump's administration, hand-selected by Donald Trump himself, that means that if we elected Donald Trump, which we did, then yes, we elected Marco Rubio as Secretary of State. We elected Kash Patel as FBI Director. We elected Pam Bondi as Attorney General. And yes, we elected Elon Musk as the leader of the Department of Government Efficiency. That's implied. You're not just voting for that person because you don't have a say. You, as an American citizen, do not have a direct say in members of administration. We don't vote for the thousands of people, and it is thousands of people that are that are appointed by a president. So by voting for the president, you voted for them. But it's actually further than that, because this is not something that got popped up on us at the last minute. Okay, it was established very early on. President Trump, once he started talking to Elon Musk, once Elon Musk started going with him to events, President Trump started saying, yeah, we're going to figure out some way to get him part of the administration. They were talking about Doge before the election. So let's not say, oh, yeah, he's unelected. Oh, you're right. Okay. Neither was, for you Democrats out there, not that very many of you watch my show, but if you are, it was crystal clear back in 2008, long before the election, that Rahm Emanuel was going to have a major role in Barack Obama's administration if Barack Obama won, which he did. So did you not vote for Rahm Emanuel? Were you out there protesting when Rahm Emanuel was named as the chief of staff for Barack Obama in his first term? Yeah, he was unelected. Nobody voted for him to be in the White House. Anyway, I'm done with y'all, the ones that are making that argument, because that's a stupid one. Number 2, he was born in South Africa, and thus he participated in apartheid. I don't think I even have to speak to that one. I think that everybody knows how ludicrous it is to think that Elon Musk had anything to do with apartheid. So we're just going to leave that one there. I'll leave that for your judgment. Number 3, and this is the big one. This, at the end of the day, they could say unelected, they could say moral this, moral that, but at the end of the day, what are they driving at? What are Democrats and rhinos and legacy media and the so-called protesters, the minions of the globalist elite cabal, what are they latching on to? He's wealthy. He's wealthy, and that's a bad thing, even though so many of the people that are pointing out that he's wealthy and that's a bad thing, they're wealthy themselves. The difference is that he became wealthy by working hard, by coming up with innovative ideas, by launching companies, by changing the world for the better. Whereas people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, these people got wealthy because they sold out power. They sold themselves as prostitutes to the other powers that be. They got rich by, quote unquote, representing us. They have $180,000 a year salary. How is it that they are multimillionaires all of a sudden? What do they have? Do they have a night job? They're waiting tables at Chili's and to save up money? No, they're getting paid. They're getting paid by people that are not us. They're getting paid by others to do their bidding, whether it's Big Pharma, China, military-industrial complex, whoever. Elon Musk is not getting paid by the military-industrial complex. They don't like him. I mean, technically speaking, I guess with SpaceX, he probably does have contracts. I should be very clear about that. But it's not a corrupt thing. It's not like, hey, Elon, go vote for this piece of legislation and we'll top off your monthly stipend. No. He actually works for his contracts. And to be clear, I want to say something just right off the bat. I have been and continue to be at least somewhat skeptical. Okay, 2-3 years ago, my skepticism was about this big. Okay, I thought that Elon Musk, he sure has the traits of a globalist elite cabal shill. Then he bought Twitter, and my skepticism got even bigger. I mean, here's a guy that wants to put chips in our brains and connect us all through satellite internet. All right, but over the course of years, my skepticism has shrunk. It's still there, but I would say it's at about 7 or 8% now. I'm at about 92 or 93% sure that what he's doing is right. I don't know what his motives are. I think his motives are to protect the world for his children. I think his motives are to protect America for his children and for himself and for future generations, for all Americans, for that matter. I do think that's probably his motives. Is there a chance that he's doing it for bad reasons? Sure. There's a chance, but I think that those chances are slimming down. The point I'm trying to make is that I have been critical of Elon Musk in the past, and I will continue to be critical when he does things that I disagree with. Okay? I mean, don't even get me started on work visas. I will oppose some of his perspectives, but his perspectives on that have seemed to have evolved in the last couple of months. So we'll see how that goes. Point is that you can still be critical of Elon Musk or Donald Trump or anybody without suffering from Trump Derangement Syndrome or Musk Derangement Syndrome or any derangement syndrome. Let's just not be deranged. How about that? Let's just not look at the circumstances. Let's look at the actions that these people take. Perfect example, Marco Rubio. Okay? I've been critical of Marco Rubio since he betrayed the Tea Party by joining the Gang of Eight. Okay? He came into, we got him into the Senate, and he was a superstar all the way up until the point to where John McCain pulled him into the Gang of Eight, and all of a sudden he's calling for amnesty. Okay? I've been critical of him ever since that point, and I have seen some good, some bad from him. Okay? But he comes in as Secretary of State, which I did, by the way. I was very, very skeptical. I was like, I don't know about this one. This seems like a bad pick. I'll support it because I support President Trump because this is the guy that he wants. But I'm going to keep my eyes open, and my eyes have been open. And so far, everything I've seen coming from Marco Rubio, it's like, okay. So he sucked as a senator, but he's a pretty darn good Secretary of State. We'll see. It's early, but so far, so good. That's the type of mentality that I'm asking everybody to take. Don't bow down. Oh, Trump wants bump stock bans, so we must be against bump stocks. No, that's not true. Okay, when he was pushing for bump stock bans, he was reacting to the NRA, reacting to the Mandalay Bay mass murder, mass shooting, and it was the wrong reaction, in my humble opinion. And it's been reversed since then. But at the time, I disagreed with him. We should be able to disagree about that stuff with anybody. The point I'm trying to get at is this: there is a growing number of Americans who are opposing Elon Musk, opposing Doge, opposing the work that they're doing. You don't have to like Elon Musk. You don't have to agree with the establishment of Doge. But don't tell me that you disagree with him exposing the massive, widespread corruption that has been in D.C. possibly from the very beginning. It is bad. It's getting worse. And if we don't stop it, it doesn't matter who we elect. It doesn't matter who's in Congress, who's in the Senate. It doesn't matter what China or Russia or anybody else does. If we do not end the corruption in Washington, D.C., then we will not be able to survive as a country for much longer. And that is not hyperbole. Follow some or all of my work. Go to jdrucker.com/find. You'll get my videos, my posts, my articles, my various websites, jdrucker.com/find. You know you want to find me.